Today is a busy day because I am fulfilling orders. I'm about halfway through all of the pre-orders for my New Year's Eve themed products, the New Year New Me soap and the Hello 2024 Bath Bear. So I thought for today's video, I would have you guys keep me company while I do it. There are quite a bit of orders, so you can see firsthand how a small business fulfills a large volume of orders with just one person. I have this really long table. I think it's 6 feet long. Is it? Or I think it's 5 feet long. Anyways, this big surface is awesome because I could really spread out my orders and I just kind of lay them all out. I use each order sheet as a place where I can collect all of the items that were ordered. And these are all of the orders that had the pre-sale items on them. If the order did not have a pre-sale item, I had already shipped that, but I released these items on the 15th of January, and I said on the listing that the items, if they were ordered with other things, they would all be shipped together on the 1st of the following month. And for the most part, that went smoothly. There were a few emails that came in asking about their orders, but it was really quick to clear that up. So I think that's something to anticipate if you are going to be using a pre-sale model like this, that not everyone will catch that it's going to be shipped out much later than usual. I'm really understanding of people that happens to, because I'm the same way. I will just quickly order something, not really look, and then wonder what's going on with it. So if you're one of those people wondering where your order was, I don't blame you. I'm so pleased with the amount of people that ordered for this pre-sale. It was a test for me because I'd never done this type of ordering before, this business model before, and I definitely want to keep it up, at least try it out for a full year, for 12 months straight. And I've gotten feedback already about people who are so excited about getting their limited edition items, but this is a great way to be able to gauge the interest of an item. And then once you do see how many people order it, you have that time to make more if need be. Okay, so here are all of our orders. I'm going to start picking them and collecting them on each order sheet. So let's go ahead and do that. Thank you for bringing some supplies down.
Thank you. I haven't done my hair.
You don't want to be on camera, or no?
No, you can get me saying that. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
There's actually more, so I'll be down.
Okay. You'll be in and out.
Yep.
So here is the progress so far. I have a few orders actually laid out that didn't have any limited edition items, which is good because I actually don't have that in stock. This is an order that just had a wild blackberry sugar scrub, which I don't have. I've run out, but it's okay. I can restock that in a day. So that's going to be empty, but the rest, we have everything, which is awesome. So for the soaps, I've been doing this new thing where I've been laser engraving them. And when I tried laser engraving my soaps yesterday when I was fulfilling orders, it went by quicker than I thought it would. So it's not really as big of a time suck as I originally thought it would be. And I'll show you how I do that. But the trick is with laser engraving, if you're not gonna do the batch laser engraving, which that's a possibility, I'm not gonna be doing that in this video because I have not learned it yet, but I will, don't worry. The trick is, if you're not gonna do that, is to keep busy. And when you're fulfilling orders, there's literally so many things you could be doing while each soap is being laser engraved. Yesterday, it took me about 3 hours to fulfill 20 orders. That's a pretty good rate of order fulfillment for me. I'm just one person. I'm sure it could go faster if I'm not laser engraving the soaps and not laser engraving the lids of all of my jars. But at the end of the day, I'm not really looking to be the fastest out there. I don't think my order volume is insanely high, pretty manageable. And on top of everything, I find order fulfilling so relaxing and so peaceful. I love being down here. Just, I don't know, there's something so satisfying about packaging up items and putting them in boxes and shipping them out and knowing that all these products are going to a new home. I don't know why that fills my heart with joy, but it does. So I need to stop talking and get down to lasering these soaps. So here is my laser station, which sounds so futuristic and cool. The future of soap businesses, having a laser and lasering things. So what I'd like to do when it comes to lasering the soap is to laser all the same types of soap at the same time, so I don't have to change the settings, because there are little tweaks in settings depending on the color of the soap and also the shape of the soap. I have 3 different shapes. No, actually, I have 4 different shapes. I have 2 different color types. And it might sound like a lot, but what you're able to do with the Xtool machine is to save each set of settings under a specific file name. So all I have to do is pull up that project and it has all those savings saved up and things go pretty fast. So here is a closer look at the machine. I have the bottom open because yesterday I was laser engraving boxes, but for my soaps, I like to put the pedestal in. And before I was centering the soaps right in the middle, and that was taking time adjusting each soap so that the message could be right in the middle. But I realized that if I add this tool right here, and this comes with the Xtool, I can now have a place to rest the soap, and then I can just position the laser engraving to go in the center of that soap. If it sounds complicated, I should probably just show you instead of explaining everything. This guy right here. See how it rests right in the corner there? We're gonna bring the 2 dots together like so, and had this template to make sure that the engraving goes in the middle each time. But once I had all the settings locked in and this guy in here, I no longer needed this anymore, which is awesome. So here are all my Xtool projects. So for the soaps, I'm gonna select my tall and skinny soap bar over here, double click that, and here is the message that is gonna go on the soap. So all I have to do is, I'll just show you, I know that it's gonna be in the middle, but if I click framing, it's already positioned right in the middle because, here, let me show you what it looks like. On here, this is the representation of the actual platform, and this is not dead in the center, which is where I was originally positioning it. It's more up in, like, higher and more to the right-hand side, because that is where the middle is over there once it's resting over here. So this makes everything go by so much faster. Now all I have to do is stop the framing, click process. I'm going to lower this to protect my eyeballs, and then I just press this. And there is the result, a beautiful engraved soap. So what am I doing while the soaps are being laser engraved? Well, as each soap is being laser engraved, there are so many different tasks that I could do to keep the job rolling along. Like, for example, for the soaps that are engraved, I can slip them into their boxes. I can label them using the labels that I've already printed out, or if I've run out of labels, I'm printing them. There are so many little things, and I've gotten to the point where if I were to hire somebody to help me out down here, I've compartmentalized each task in the process so that I can assign a very specific task to somebody and they could just work on that, and it should work really efficiently once I do get to that stage. But as it is right now with my current volume of orders, I am completely fine doing this all by myself, and I have this system going. So here's the soap already laser engraved with its really nice message. While other soaps are being laser engraved, I'm slipping these soaps into their boxes like so. They just go right into here. For those who have been following me for a while, If you haven't been following me, hello, my name is Jerica and welcome to the channel. But if you have been watching my channel for some time, you'll know that I used to have white soap boxes with the oval window in them, and I stopped using them because I could not get my hands on them anymore. They were suddenly sold out everywhere. And so I had to move to these craft colored boxes, and I was fine with that because they actually fit my branding more than the white boxes did. So I was perfectly okay with just getting the craft colored soap boxes with a hole in them. But now the craft colored boxes are now sold out everywhere. I actually ordered a bunch from Wholesale Supplies Plus, and they had to refund me a large part of the order because they didn't have it anymore. It was on back stock or back order for a while. They had sent to me part of the order, but the rest of it they were going to send to me once they got their stock back up. But now they're saying that they don't have that stock at all, and they don't know when they're gonna get it ever. So they refunded me the boxes that they could not send to me, which is really sad and kind of frustrating. I did not realize it was gonna be this hard to get my hands on soap boxes. But here we are. I'm currently trying to think of some solutions, and I'm getting closer and closer to contacting a company about getting custom soap boxes because I feel like that might be the only way to keep a supply going, so I'm not worried about not being able to get my hands on a soap box. Look how pretty that is. The message is right in the window, which is wonderful. Now all I have to do is put the stickers on. And I find this so satisfying. I love this part. It just brings the entire product together. I have a front label, and I also have a back label with all of the ingredients. So there's the front. Here is the back. And there is the final soap. This looks so gorgeous. I'm so proud of this product. And the craft boxes really do look amazing. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to find another supplier in the meantime, but I think it's time. I think this is the universe telling me, Jerica, you need custom soap boxes. So I still have a lot of soaps to engrave and a lot of orders to fulfill. So I'm gonna get right to it and stop talking to y'all. And yeah, hopefully I'm able to get this done today. Fingers crossed. Excuse the sound of the laser in the background. It's kind of noisy, but hopefully it's not going to be too bad when I edit this, or it might be terrible. I don't know. We'll see. But I wanted to show you guys quickly what the short and squat soaps look like when they're in their box. And here is the Hide Tide soap. And the blue soaps actually have a different setting from the green soaps, or the darker soaps. And that's one of the few quirks of the laser machine that I'm working around and figuring it out. There's always these little tweaks you gotta do depending on the type of color that you're lasering. And that goes with anything, really. I just realized that so many things about a craft are just small tweaks, like with making soap. Fragrance oils will react differently from other fragrance oils, so you just have to adjust and figure out which ones will behave, and if certain fragrance oils cause a soap to accelerate, then you have to adjust for that. Yeah, small tweaks. The laser is no different. I just really love the engraved look on the soaps. I do think it's worth the time spent doing it. It does make my process a little bit longer, but I was watching an episode of Parks and Rec. I don't know if you guys have seen that show. If you haven't, please do. It's so funny. But there's a character there named Ron Swanson, and he makes these chairs. A fancy blog picked up his chair, and they wanted to manufacture his chair and sell it to the masses. And she had this whole plan of taking his design and bringing it to a manufacturer so you can mass produce them. And Ron Swanson was just baffled at the idea of this, because once you do that, once you take the process away from him and start mass producing this chair, it's no longer the same chair. And he just didn't want that. He was very much against mass production. And I think I'm kind of the same way. I think when it takes me a little bit longer to do something, it just hones in my craft a little bit more. And I know a lot of people are so concerned about doing things as fast as possible, but I just feel like I'm not that person. I feel like I like the slow and steady approach. And I like taking the time to put in those details. Of course, there's a point I'm not super duper patient about everything, but when it comes to little touches like lasering a bar of soap that sets you apart from everyone else, I do think it's worth that little bit of extra time, and I don't think it's that much time added to the process, in my opinion, but that's subjective. Everyone has a different tolerance. These mini soaps have been a really, really good seller for me, and I'm glad I have them available because I think people who are new to my brand, they don't want to spend a certain amount on a large bar of soap. So these little sample sizes have been awesome. They've been really popular. So I think I'm going to continue having them available moving forward. So this is all to say, I really do think it's not such a bad thing to slow your process down. You're able to catch things better. Maybe you're making less mistakes and you just, I don't know, you don't suck the joy out of the thing, because doing this, adding those little touches is part of what makes me love this job and this craft so much. And maybe I don't want to go super, super fast. Maybe I want to enjoy and relish the moment, because there was a time when I was working corporate jobs where I felt so pressured to be doing things so quickly. And I found that when I was in corporate jobs, there was always that pressure to outperform and overperform, which I did. And whenever I pushed myself to do better than my peers, it just made me super unpopular with them. A lot of them didn't like that I was like that, but also there wasn't any real reward from that. If anything, I was just assigned more and more duties because my bosses were impressed with me, but it didn't necessarily equate to more pay. It was just a lot of extra effort for nothing. Now that I'm working for myself, I do understand that the harder I work, the more income I'll bring in. But the level of income my business is bringing in now is just fine. It's perfect for Kayla and I to live off of comfortably, and I'm happy with that. I've also seen a lot of businesses go all in and invest a ton of money and have that pressure to make the sales, only to close down a few months or years later. And I don't want to be that company. And other companies that are currently trying to scale to match the demand are making a lot of mistakes. And you can see that in their social media posts, that they're just all over the place, like scatterbrained. And I was at that spot years ago when one of my Etsy listings just went through the roof and I was getting lots and lots of orders coming in. I remember that sense of needing to keep up with all of the orders, but not being able to maintain the level of quality, and just changing things so much because what I was doing was not going to let me fulfill those orders in a timely manner. I needed to ramp things up. I needed to find different suppliers because the supplier I was using didn't have the product available in that bulk quantity. There's just so much pressure. And I think the older I get, the less I want my life to be that, the less I want it to be a race. And just more of a be happy with what you have and nourish and nurture that. I sold a lot of Western Sunset sugar scrubs, so I'm really happy about that. The Western Sunset sugar scrubs and my Wild Blackberry have started to become the most popular sugar scrubs. And one of my scents, I originally named it Moss and Ferns, but it sold so poorly that I think it was the name of it. I think people were struggling with picturing how that smelled, and when you think of moss and ferns, you kind of get a musky smell, so I don't blame people for not going for that. So I renamed it Rosemary Mists, and I feel like that has bumped up the sales of that scent because it's a rosemary mint sage smell, which is a very soothing, earthy smell, which is usually a very popular scent, but the naming of it got people confused. So I'm thinking putting the word rosemary in the name might change that, and it already has, so that's good. But I'm loving the limited edition product idea. I think for next month, I'm gonna do a soap, a bath bomb, but I think I wanna add in a sugar scrub to that as well, because I'm thinking for February, strawberries. I'm fixated on the idea of strawberries for February because I feel like that's such a Valentine's Day thing that people bring into February. We want sweetness, we want pink. Even though I did pink for January, I think we're gonna keep going with the pink into February. I promise in March, We'll probably focus more on green things since spring is coming, but February is going to be all about strawberries. I might even attempt a strawberry soap. So a soap made with real strawberries that doesn't just smell like strawberries, but I've actually included strawberries in that. So we'll see if I'm able to achieve that. So with these soaps, I like to protect them even more by putting them in this really cute bag. For the short and squat ones, I put them in this bag because they won't fit in the other types of bags. Like my tall and skinny ones fit into this bag just fine, but these bags are good for the short and squat size. Oh, and now I'm at the stage where I'm slowly putting things in their bags. And I gotta do their boxes now. I have to laser engrave the boxes. So I'm gonna do that while I'm finishing up the little touches of everything else. So this is what a laser engraved box looks like. And I think it looks so cool. And then I just put my items in the box. So this is how I package my 3-ounce. Put them in a bag with the ingredients in the back. Then I put them in a box like so. I fold the packing sheet, which I don't include when I send the package off. And then I put it over there to finish off the order. It's definitely not for everyone though. If you don't have the patience, if you just want to be able to pack things up quickly, your time is precious. I totally get that. Then yeah, I don't know if my process is going to be appealing to you. But I really love that about our community, how everyone has a different process or how they do things, as long as it makes you happy. I think that's the most important thing. If you're doing something and you hate it, or if you're stressed out, or if it's no longer bringing you joy, that is a signal that you need to reevaluate what's going on there. Maybe you need to slow things down. Maybe you need to limit the number of orders you take in. Maybe it's time to hire someone. If you're the type of person that likes to build and grow quickly, then that's definitely something you should consider. But if you like the slow and steady approach, then I can tell you that that has worked so well for me. It's not something that I've always done. Earlier in my soap making career, I was all about, let's make the most money as fast as we can. Let's get this business as profitable as possible, as quickly as possible. And that completely drained me, burnt me out. I had lost my joy of creating, and now that I'm at this stage of my life, of my soap making and soap business career, I'm so excited about all of the projects that I have on the horizon, and I've really freed up my mind to think of all of the creative new projects that I have coming in the future. And you find that when you're super busy with everything, when you're in the weeds, as that's a restaurant term that I picked up when I was working as a line chef at a restaurant a long time ago, but when you're in the weeds of something, it's so hard to step back and really see the whole picture, and it's really hard to be able to keep contributing the creativeness to your business that made you a profitable and successful business in the first place. So this is all to say, I'm so lucky and so grateful to everyone who has put it in order. And I hope you guys keep doing so, because I love this job so much. I love packaging everything and creating everything by hand. I have been loving that it's just me. Kale does help every now and then, but ever since I've taken on more duties, it really has felt so much more personal. And I do want to keep this a just me endeavor for as long as I possibly can, because I think that's where I'm happiest. But that is the video for today. But before I go, I want to thank my patrons, each and every one of you who has decided to support me on Patreon. You are so appreciated. Thank you so much, especially these guys, my bubble BFFs. Your generosity is so appreciated. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. But that is today's video. It was more of a casual pack with me type of vlog, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. I don't know if you've noticed, I'm trying different formats in 2024, and I think that's how it's going to be moving forward, where I have a super focused video on a specific topic, and then there'll be other videos like this that are more casual and chit-chatty and more vlog style. I want to have a mix of both in my channel moving forward. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you like this video or not, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask them down below. I try to answer as much as I possibly can before the next video is up, and then I probably won't look back on those comments. So you have about 2 or 3 days after this video is posted to ask a question that I will hopefully respond to. But if you want a for sure answer from me, the Patreon is where I'd like to engage with everybody. That is the platform for that. But that is the video. Thank you so much for watching. And until the next one, keep smiling, keep being awesome, and I will see you in that next video. Bye, guys.